Alright, so how to play Minesweeper. So I usually play online, look up like free Minesweeper, and then I go to freeminesweeper.org. I don't really like the other ones because they don't feel as nice, since also Windows doesn't have like a built-in one, right? So click on this, and I go directly to this thingamajigger, this box. I think it's usually smaller, like this size, but I blew it up because like it's much easier to play with a bigger box. There's like 3 different levels. I recommend beginner, expert. You have more mines, bigger box. Play on beginner. So you only have 10 mines, and I don't know how many squares exactly. Not important. You click to start, and you cannot go wrong with any way you click. Really, I don't really recommend the corners, but I like to start from the middle. Sometimes starting from the corners is whatever. Not important. Now, what this means. These ones, blank spaces. Ones represent how many mines you are touching, and corners count like diagonals, vertically, horizontally. So like these guys are touching 2 mines each. Maybe it could be the same mines. Maybe it could be different mines. This guy's touching 3 mines. Let's start with the easy one. There's only one square here. It has to be a mine because like there's no other square for these ones to be touching. These blank ones represent 0 mines, so they autofill out until you reach numbers, so the game progresses faster. So let's see, where should we start? Let's start with corners. So this one, for example, is a corner, and it's only touching 1 square. That means it has to be a mine. Now the way you put down a mine is you right click, and yeah, if you left click, that's like how you confirm a square is not a mine. And if you left click on a square that is a mine, you lose. So you want to be careful about your left clicks. Right clicks, you can do it on any square, no problem. And then right clicking twice gives you a question mark. So this is a mine for sure. Now, is this a mine? Well, this one is already touching a mine, so this one cannot be a mine. So we left click it. Now something cool about this website in particular is instead of clicking on the squares that you're sure of, you can just click on the one itself. So that we know that this one's already touching 1 mine. So these 2 cannot be mines. We can click on the one and it'll autofill it out for us. Same thing again, this one is touching 1 mine. Even though there's a 3 here, that means there's a lot of mines around. But this one is touching this mine, so we know for sure that these 2, because they're touching the one, are not mines. And now, this becomes a little bit more easier for us, because if we think about it, we've got 3s here, and we only have 3 squares left. This 3 is touching 1 mine, but it's only touching 2 more left. Same thing with 2, it's only touching 2 more, and it's a 2. This 3 is touching 3, and we found 2. This one has to be a mine as well. We got 5 mines left, and now should be pretty alright. Let's start with the corners again. 1 square touching this one. This has to be a mine. Same thing here. 1 square is touching this corner. Now, like for example, this one is touching 2 squares. We don't want to make a guess right off the bat, but we can assume this is true for sure. And then we can do other stuff like this 2 is touching only 2 squares, so that means they both have to be. This 2 is touching 3 squares, but 2 of them are mines already. Same thing with this 2, it's touching 2 mines, and there's like 4 squares touching it. So we can click on the 2. Same thing again, this 2 is touching 2 mines. We can click on it again. This 2 is touching 2 mines. We can click on it again. We can click on this for this 2. This one's touching a mine. We can click on that. And now this one has to be a mine because of all these ones. Now we're almost done. Now this 1 is touching a mine already. This 1 is touching a mine already. And it autofilled that last mine for us because like we only had 1 mine left. And we win. We get a nice little smiley dude with sunglasses, and if you beat this, then you're probably ready to go to the intermediate level with 40 mines. And then you kind of learn some techniques, like you can start to pick up like oh, this has to be a free square, other stuff like that. Like I can show you some more tricks, but those were just the basics. You can start to kind of pick up patterns, patterns with the numbers. Sometimes what I'll do is oops, I clicked on a square with a mine. You automatically lose. And you just restart. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll create like a few islands, especially in expert mode where the board's a lot bigger. Kind of try to make like maybe 2 islands, 3 islands, something easy to work with, so if I get stuck on one island I can just switch to the other. That was a pretty big island. But you don't really have to worry about that. Like maybe I could start working from this, maybe I can create one more island. Okay, and this is something I can probably work with. Now there's not as much corners, but I can show you techniques once you get to the expert level. You won't really have to deal with that in the beginner level. Oh god, there's no corners on this one. So you can just restart it and then just keep practicing with something with corners. Corners will be like your bread and butter. It's like you don't really have to think about it, and then it makes like those like more fun situations come up. Yeah.